Let me start with a question. How many of you have heard one sentence in your childhood that still remains with you and you have never forgotten that? How many of you remember? That one sentence changed the way you look at life. It has been helping you in creating choices and made you what you are. And today here, I'm Prantik, speaking about my 3 ripples of my life. And these 3 ripples have changed the way I operate my life, the way I think, and the way I have designed my purpose. So, talking about 3 ripples. The first ripple, it comes from my childhood. I have a very unique childhood. The day I was born, I was very small. And in 1982, Amazon had not yet come in India, but still, I was home delivered. And when I was born in Odisha, after a few months, when I was 2.5 months old, I was taken to Vellore. And Vellore, I stayed there for more than 3 years. When I was 2.5 years old, I developed a severe eye condition. And I started to wear very thick spectacles. So that thick spectacles blurred my entire vision. That thick spectacles remained with me even today. Now imagine a 2.5-year-old child and -3 spectacles. My world blurred, including my vision. Before I could talk or look at my mother, I was looking at my spectacles, where have I kept it? And that's how my world started. Now if I have to talk about the 3 ripples, okay, this first one that I'm talking about will be compared to exactly like a jigsaw puzzle. This jigsaw puzzle, you all have played. One piece represents a moment. This one piece looks individual, does not fit in anywhere. It feels like it is not part of any game. But this one puzzle, one piece, has an effect, has its role, has its significance in the entire jigsaw puzzle. And to that, the first piece was my spectacles. So once I got the spectacles, that was a part of jigsaw puzzle, I didn't understand where does this jigsaw puzzle fit in. When I was 3-year-old, we shifted to Bijapur, Karnataka. And when I shifted there, I started to study in Sainik Primary School. It's a military school. In that school, I was fast, I was energetic, and I also was good in studies. Until in 4th grade, asthma entered my life. Once asthma entered, I started to become slow. My stamina decreased. And slowly, the inhaler became my pocket friend. With every attack, with every wheeze, my stamina reduced. So the first was spectacles, the other was asthma. I was studying in military school, and during that time, doctors advised my family to shift to a cooler place. And because of my specs and asthma, I could not continue with the military school. Then we chose Nasik to come. The reason was my asthma. So we came to Nasik, and in Nasik I started to study in a school, and something started to slip from my hands. One side was my confidence, and the other side were my grades. I started to fail in exams. I was a fantastic student in Bijapur, and I started to become a very weak student who barely passed in Nasik. So that became my another jigsaw puzzle. I didn't understand where does it fit. Slowly, my confidence reduced so much that in my 10th grade, I scored just 55.45%. My parents used to tell me, Prantik, be disciplined. My teachers used to tell me, be disciplined. So I showed my discipline in my percentage. In 10th, I scored 55.45. In 12th, I scored 59%. So I was very consistent in my percentage at least. However, in Indian standards, these were not good percentage. Okay, in Indian middle class family, we have 3-step formula. Study well, get good grades. Take up a job, and your life will be set. And exactly, the first step was incorrect in my life. So I scored very less, it continued. Then I entered, after my 12th, I entered graduation. I've done my BCS. So I entered the BCS college the first year. And that too also, I got an admission in the college where I didn't want to go. I only got an admission in that college because of my 12th grades, which were so beautiful. So I got into that college. So that became my other jigsaw puzzle. I got an admission in the college I didn't want to go. And interestingly, I met 2 friends there. One of the friend is Sadhna, the second is Parul. Parul is still my friend. We meet occasionally in Pune. Whereas Sadhna, she flunked in the first year. She failed all the subjects, and she never came back to the college to complete her studies. She left her studies. I continued, I finished my BCS. And something unexpected happened after I completed my BCS. One day, my phone rang. We did not have mobile phones, so the landline rang. I picked up the call, and it was Sadhana calling. After 3 years, I get a call from her. And she's very excited. Reason being, she was getting engaged. So she invites me to an engagement function, to her engagement function. Now, this invitation, I had all the opportunity to reject it. 3 years, I've not met her. Why to go to an engagement function? But I still felt, let me go there. So I went there, and there she introduced me to her uncle. Okay, fair enough, uncle hai, done. So I met her uncle, and that uncle, after 6-8 months, he invited me to a seminar, which again I attended reluctantly. All these pieces that I'm talking about, okay, right from my asthma, my spectacles, coming to Nasik, getting an admission in the wrong college, and scoring very less. All these things were matching up to one thing, that I went to that seminar and I met my first mentor of life. His name is Shamlullah. Now just think of all the bad events that happened in my life. Let's talk about the jigsaw puzzle. Some were very sharp, some were confusing. Some jigsaw puzzle I wanted to throw away. I did not want it in my life. But all of this jigsaw puzzle came together to help me meet my mentor, Shamlullah. And this person has one of the biggest profound impact in my life. Shamlullah is a businessman, and I fell in love with that person because he was very clear, okay, very passionate. And I went and asked, Sham, will you be my mentor? He said yes. And under his guidance, I learned a lot of things. Sham has one of the most profound impact in my life. Under his guidance, I learned a lot of things, and he always used to say, Prantik, do job, but always dream of business. Here comes the second ripple. So, learn from him to do business. I started to think of business ideas. I started to think of a business idea. I created a business idea. And as any good business idea that we have, or any good idea that we have, we generally go and share it with our friends. So I did the same. I picked up the idea, and I went to my friend. Let's call him Jay. So I went to Jay. Okay, afternoon. I sat in front of him. I shared the entire business idea. I was thinking, we both are from middle class family. We both come from very humble backgrounds. And together, probably, we can do something big in our life. So with that thing, I shared the entire plan. He looked at the plan. He nodded. He smiled. He smirked. And then he tells, Prantik, we are middle class people. We don't do businesses. We will fail in business. Rather, you will fail in business. Better don't do any business. Let's continue with our job. And after some time, he switched on the TV, and he kept watching the TV. I was standing there, watching him watch the TV. I was confused. I was devastated. I was crushed, as if my love proposal has been rejected. What to do now? The only person I thought will become my business partner has rejected me. What will I do now? So with that thing, I wanted a shoulder to cry upon. I called up Shyam and went to meet him. So luckily, Shyam was in Nasik, so I went to meet him, and I shared everything that happened. And Shyam heard the entire story. He smiled and said, Prantik, you do not have to listen to me. You can surely listen to Jay. You do not have to start a business also. But before you take any decision, let me ask you 3 questions. And he asked me these 3 questions. He asked, Prantik, while Jay is encouraging you not to do any business, at the same time, is he giving you any other better opportunity instead? I said, no. Okay. Second question. While he's saying not to do business, but in future, if you ever need any financial help, or if your business fails, is he promising you to support you financially? Well, no. Okay. Now the third question is Jay, in his life, living that kind of life that you dream of? Well, no. He's as broke as me. Then he asked, whom are you listening to? That changed my entire perspective. And the second ripple I call is the ripple of permission. Which voice are you allowing to hear? Because these negative voices, they echo in our mind, they stay in our life for years together, and we, at the end of our life, we regret, I wish I'd done a business. Okay? So this was the second ripple. Now the third ripple, obviously, coming from Shyam. One day I was having lunch with Shyam. I was having lunch with him. I really admired this man. A good businessman, a great family person. I was looking at him. He was having his lunch. I loved his clarity. I loved his vision. I loved his passion, everything. And slowly I said to Shyam, I want to be like you. Shyam raised his head and said, no, sorry, you can't. Why? He then lifted his head, kept his food aside, and said, there are a few reasons to it. Well, what? Prantik, you are 2 inches taller than me. I am 2 tones fairer than you. You live in Nasik, I live in Mumbai. The house that you live in is 35 lakhs. The house that I live in is 1.5 CR. You drive a bike. You ride a bike. I drive Ford Icon. I'm married. I've got 8-year-old child. You are single. You are graduate. I'm 12th pass. You come from a job background. I come from a business background. And there is no match. That's why you can't be like me. I kind of accepted the answer. I was still processing the answer. I was very sad. Oh, one person I wanted to be like, and I can't be like that person. And I started to eat my food. 2 minutes later, he raises his head, and says, you know, Prantik, you can still become like me. How? Only if you start thinking like me. That changed my entire life after that. That was the biggest breakthrough that I received, to start thinking like the people that we admire. After that, I started to interview a lot of successful people. I really admire people who are having great gadgets, beautiful house, big business, beautiful cars. I really admire them. But what I most admire is the thought process that helped them bring out those things in reality. That was my biggest learning. Now, to validate the same thought, let me give you one more example. I was again with Shyam, having lunch with him. Don't think that I was only meeting to have lunch with him. Okay, I was having lunch with him after a few months, and I was at his home that time. So at that time, I was having lunch, and very nicely, Shyam asked, Prantik, why don't you invest in some good branded clothes? I laughed. Shyam, why are you putting me into this trouble? Why to buy one shirt where at the same price I can buy 5 to 10 shirts? Why to do that? Okay, I will have variety. I thought that I was being practical. At least I thought so. Shyam, the man of few words, he didn't say anything. He smiled. After lunch, he says, Prantik, let's go for a walk. So we went for a walk on the streets of Breach Candy. That's where he lives. So we started to walk, and he said, oh, Prantik, I want to buy a jeans. Let's go. So we stepped inside a jeans showroom. He went inside, changed to a new jeans. He came out. I saw the jeans. It was customized as if it was customized for him. It was fitting well. I said, Sham, it's looking great. You should buy. He goes inside, changes, comes out, hands back the jeans, says thank you, and comes out. And he doesn't buy the jeans. While walking back, I asked him, Sham, that jeans was really good. Yes, I know. Why didn't you buy? Well, I didn't want to. But why? It was for 25,000 rupees. 25,000 rupees? Jeans? Yes. You didn't want to buy? No. But why did you go there? They don't charge for trials. And that was nothing about jeans. That was all about a new mindset. That day I realized there are so many places I could have gone. Okay, I was scared to get into a restaurant, a 5-star hotel, just to have a glass of water. But I did not go, thinking that that is not a place I can afford. And from that day, I changed my entire mindset. I started to go to the showrooms where I felt I don't deserve. I started to go to the business forums where I felt that earlier I used to feel that it does not belong to me. I don't belong to this forum. I started to go there. I started to experiment with my life. And that is where I changed my entire perspective. This third ripple, I name it as the ripple of self-worth. I designed my life with that, just by thinking like those successful people. Now today, I'm standing on this red dot. There are many jigsaw puzzles I still keep getting. I still don't know how do they fit. There are still ripples which are unfolding. Maybe one of the ripple you are standing into, and you are confused, where will my life go from this point? But remember, every event is a part of a better or bigger jigsaw puzzle, and it will fit somewhere, and you will know towards the end of that jigsaw puzzle. So be aware of these three parts. You are beautiful. You are amazing. The ripples that you create from your thoughts, from your ideas, from your own living, being just existing, you can create a different ripple. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.